Welcome to Loopville TCG, this is Fortune here, normally the editor for videos, but today I'm also bringing you a HYU-GA deck profile. I think it's a very strong deck right now, definitely very relevant. The only thing that it could make it better is when we get Murakumo, the promo, which comes out next, main booster set. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go from grade 0s up to grade 3s just because my deck makes more sense that way. So starter doesn't really matter, you only have one kind of starter in standard. Triggers, I run 4 heal, 6 crit, and 6 draw. It's very, just the normal lineup for this deck. You do need the draw power even though you go through a bit of your deck just because it is a bit piece reliant. But yeah, most people have agreed that this is kind of the optimal trigger lineup because it was what won VMC and has been working in English too. So. Alright, for grade 1s, I play 4 Rainy Madam, 4 Million Rat, and 3 Sukera. Not very many grade 1s because a lot of this deck just wants to have attackers out. But Rainy Madam, obviously very important for the Shirayuki engine. Million Rat is a bit of deck thinning. I personally don't rate this card very highly, but I just think murakumo doesn't have a better option. Because the main problem with Million Rat is that it does use Counterblast if it will focus. Doesn't look like it's gonna, oh there we go. Yeah, main problem with Million Rat is that it does use Counterblast, so that's already a resource that 1, murakumo can't refund, and 2, it's already very slim on. So yeah, that's why I don't rate it highly. I do run it though, most of the time it's just 10k guard. Finally Sukera, really just there for pushing the final turns. It's basically just Counterblast for an extra attack, so if you're really pushing hard you can go for it. Okay, so grade 2s, I run 4 Fushimi. Its first skill, where it gets 5k, is I reckon pretty relevant because at this point in standard I think it's less so about getting the magic number of 13 for a lot of Excel decks and just getting past that without using as few resources as possible, which is the main reason why a lot of decks are running Fushimi. It's at 4 because we don't have Miyamaru in English, which is the one that gives your board 5k. But yeah, 14k on its own, very good, you don't have to commit resources, and also its other skill, there we go. Its other skill does let you hit back row, which it's kind of nice, but not that useful considering HYU-GA does wipe the board. Next is 4 Jakatsu Girl. This card is the grade 2 for the Shirayuki engine, so basically you can manipulate it to not hit a lot of the time. So if you're missing grade 3, especially because first ride HYU-GA isn't that scary, so you can just search out your Shirayuki, ride into it, and then yeah, you're easy. Central Rester, another card I don't rate too highly, but again, we don't have Miyamaru, because on its own it's a 9k attack that can only swing in the Vanguard for back row. So it does have its fair share of problems, but on the turns where you push really hard, I think it's decent enough where you want to have 1 in the deck just in case. And then the final grade 2, this is my personal tech slot. So I reckon these two are both tech slots, but this one I do rate quite highly. This card is won me game single-handedly, where I've had no grade 3s in hand. So I'll just put the skill on the screen real quick so you can read it. Yeah, so this card has won me games where I've had a really bad hand. I discard a crit or just something I have spare in hand, and I check a HYU-GA and Shirayuki in the top 2, which then puts this online because I put Shirayuki to drop zone, and then HYU-GA is a perfect ride target. So this card basically just filtering. If you're going first as well, it's not a bad target to search out for HYU-GA's skill because your opponent will be in grade 2, but yeah, definitely a solid tech card. But the thing is, I would take this out if we had Miyamaru. Grade 3s, so we start off with the obvious 4 HYU-GA. Ace card of the deck, you gotta get it nice and blinged with the SVRs. Okay, so HYU-GA basically is your main plus engine, where you get basically a free call every turn, and the important part is that you change everything's name to HYU-GA. The Soul Blast skill, obviously very nice, but not usable in every matchup. Most of the time if you can do it, you will, but there's stuff like Pale Moon where it's just pretty much pointless. Now this is the I want to say like most controversial part of the list, running 4 Shiryuki. Most decks these days are only running 3, but I figured because we don't have Miyamaru yet in English, you have a bit of spare soul. You can just Soul Blast 2 anyway, and like calling it to Rearguard, -5 to the Vanguard, lets your numbers, like lets everything hit a forced Vanguard, which is, you know, I figure that's pretty good. Also, the fact that you're running the Shiryuki engine anyway, like the grade 1 and stuff, you may as well run 4 at this point. I do think if we had Miyamaru, I would cut it down to 3. But yeah, definitely, I think this is a 4 for now. Alright, next we have Nudo. This card, I would honestly consider maybe bumping up to 3, just because it really is quite good. It fuels the grade 3 in Soul for HYU-GA, which is very important, obviously. As well as that, it's a nice 12k booster. There's not too many, what's it called, like 11k attackers. Like there's no 11k attackers to get the exact number that you want out of like this, and then you boost it with an 11k to get nice 23. But the 12k boost is definitely very nice, and so I could definitely see myself bumping this up. For now, I think 2 is working. It's, yeah, definitely a very solid card, but it does require you to have 5 on board at the end of turn. So if you have Reigning Madam and you put it into Soul, you go down to 4 and you can sometimes mess up and, yeah, not get Scalp, so be careful of that. These last 2, very standard. So Hyuki is basically just for your finishing turns. You only run 1 because the Hyuki that it would call from its own skill doesn't have the HYU-GA name, so it isn't as strong. And you only really need it once in the game, so it doesn't really matter. Like, and if it hits if it hits damage, that's just unfortunate. But that's why you run a second backup, which is Dansetsu Anarch, where basically all of your rearguards with the same name as your Vanguard get 5k. So it's just a nice push for the game, I reckon. So this is where most of your power is, as well as that the -5 from Shiryuki is a nice thing to have as well. Like you have all these attacks, you may as well. So yeah, that's all the grades. So obviously it's an Excel clan, as you can tell from all of our grade 3s, but most of the time I will say you want to go Excel 2, but there are definitely some matchups where Excel 1, I wouldn't call it better, but I would call it faster. So for example, old decks like Angel Feather until next set, you can confidently go Excel 1 and they won't pose much of a threat to you, just because you are passing enough anyway without it, and you're not really scared of Angel Feather right now. But against stuff that you need pieces against, like I think a really big matchup for this is Dimension Police, where if you have Shiryuki, you can reduce their power, but the thing is you need to hit your Shiryuki pieces, so I would always go Excel 2 against that. So, yeah, there definitely is a time and a place for Excel 1 with this deck, but Excel 2 is usually the better play. Oh, what do I say for outro?
Huh? For
Subscribe.
Subscribe to Loopville TCG.
Right. Yeah, just like and subscribe to Loopville TCG.
Please remember to
Even though I've just said it out loud already.
like the video, as Akimo said, and subscribe to Loopville TCG.
Stop butchering my name.
Akimo.
Oh, yeah.
Akimo.